We're now being joined live now from Cairo by Elizabeth Arrott of the Voice of America. Elizabeth, thank you very much. We understand you experienced a bit of power outage there, but thank you because that hasn't hindered you from joining us. It's something we're clearly used to over here. But can you tell us right now, after the appearance in court just yesterday, where exactly does Morsi stand? Are the odds stacked up against him, or are things looking good?
It doesn't look very good right now. This is one of 4 cases that are against him at the moment. It's probably the biggest in that sense, the espionage, but some of the others, including inciting violence, could carry the death penalty. So they're all very serious cases. There are delays and various, these, especially the legitimacy of the court. His defense team keeps trying to find ways to make sure that they're getting all their rights, including, as was mentioned in that report, that they're keeping him in a glass cage, that he can't hear, he can't be heard. And so there are many, many avenues, and we do expect this to go on for quite a long time.
What about his support system? Are his supporters still coming out in their thousands to, show that they're still on his side? What's going on with them?
The weekly protests tend to be a little bit smaller than that they were, and they get gradually, mainly because so many people have been put in jail. The police have cracked down. There are new laws against protests. They had moved to campuses. The university campuses had been the biggest place where there was support for him. And only today the courts ruled that police can now, after sort of 4 years, there was a ban on this, police can actually be stationed on university campuses. So that is yet another way to crack down on pretty much the last bastion of his support in a public support way.
Well, Elizabeth, is there any indication that there's been any improvement whatsoever since President Morsi was ousted, especially now that we're seeing that the interim prime minister just resigned today, saying that the situation seems to be getting out of hand? Is there any indication that things have gotten better in the least?
There's very little indication things are going to get better. As you notice, I'm sitting here in the dark. There's a huge natural gas shortage, and that's what runs the electricity grid. There are strikes, and in the public sector, transportation, garbage collection, workers. All of these things President Bablawi alluded to in the speech. He didn't say exactly why the whole government was resigning. But there's also thoughts that it may be paving the way for Field Marshal General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who's considered the de facto president now. He would be able to run. He has to resign his position as defense minister before he could run. So it could be tied to that as well.
Just one last question right here, Elizabeth. I just want to ask you, how will this move, the whole government, the interim prime minister resigning along with his government, how will it necessarily affect the elections that are supposed to hold later in the year?
Well, it may provide some kind of a clean slate. Because things are bad, maybe, if someone's running new, they could say that it's because they're going to start, yes, this government didn't do very well, and they can start new, because it is a lot of anger. And most of the uprisings, there's always an economic angle to it. And seeing these power blackouts this early in the year when we don't even have the heat and the air conditioners, people are really worried by summertime and the next president that there could be a lot of anger. So it could be a way to sort of deflect blame, pave the way for Sisi. It's not quite clear at this point.
Elizabeth, as always, thank you so much for speaking with us on The World today, and we understand exactly what you're going through, speaking to us in the dark right now and depending on your laptop lights. But thank you nonetheless for speaking with us. I've been speaking to Elizabeth Arrott of the Voice of America. She is in Cairo and she's giving us an update of what was happening concerning Mr. Morsi's trial.